Each quarter tells a story, from Wall Street heavyweights to emerging disruptors. We break down the numbers, the reactions, and the moves that matter most. Real data, real insights, in real time. This is Earnings Central Live with Verified Investing.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Earnings Central Live. I'm your host, Lawton here with Verified Investing, and it's a sad time in the quarter. Why? Because earnings season is almost over, but it's not over yet, and I got some great stocks for you today. We are trading ROST stores, Box, and CrowdStrike. However, before I go any further, guys, big request. Please like this video and subscribe to the Verified Investing YouTube channel. It helps the algorithms know that you enjoy content just like this and lets the YouTube algorithm know that you want to see more things just like this. With that being said, how's everybody doing today? Happy Tuesday. I am absolutely obliterated and cooked, but I will do my best to put on a show and hopefully get some winners in the chat. So thank you all for taking time out of your busy week to spend with me. We are going to first take a look at ROST. Could you please throw that graphic team for ROST stores, which reports in just a few minutes? So on ROST, what are we looking for, guys? We're looking for earnings per share around $1.87 to $1.90, an increase in about 4.5 to 6% year over year. For revenue, we're expecting an increase in revenue as well, up 7.8 to 9%, basically 8 to 9%, a revenue of about $6.4 billion-ish. If we could please come back to me and then go to my charts, I will give you my levels because these come out in just about 3 minutes. All right, please throw that slider on the, I almost said on the floor, on the bottom there, please, as well. So for ROST, my first level, that aggressive level for all you cowboys out there, I'm looking for support around $188 on ROST stores. Secondary level of support is down there around $183. Sticking to whole numbers today, 175, my final more conservative level of support on ROST. For resistance, guys, I'm looking at double top around 206.29, a decent push higher, 211.70, and then finally basically around 220. So if you could please come to me, production team. The way this is going to work is, you guys see my levels, we're going to react to these stocks move in real time, whether they go up or whether they go down. Now we have a couple things on the docket today, ROST, Box, and CrowdStrike. And this is where you come in. If I'm looking at another stock like Box or CrowdStrike and ROST starts moving, I need your help. Type in the chat, Lawton, take a look at ROST. It's moving, so that I can take a look at it and potentially get a trade. Now, something interesting to note on ROST is we have about a minute and a half until its earnings come out. Big drop in the markets today. ROST was down over 6% from its trading price on Thursday, basically today. Had a decent bounce up, so our levels are kind of all over the place because ROST is down, but these earnings could make it go significantly higher, and it's trading near the highs of the chart. All right, so these are all different things that I have to take into account when I'm deciding what my levels are going to be for this stock, right? YT says, expecting muted earnings given the market today. Everything seems to hinge on war headlines. While that is true, right? While that is true, earnings can still create movers. Just ask MongoDB, which moved over 20-some percent, 26%, I believe, yesterday, right? Although today we did open lower because of that war news. But let's see if we can get a pop or a drop in ROST. We'll be prepared no matter what comes our way. Afterwards, I'll give you my level on Box and then CrowdStrike, which report earnings at 405 and then 410 respectively. But again, guys, I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to spend here with me. So we have about 4 seconds left. Any second now, ROST should come out with earnings. And we're expecting some moves. Now, the first thing to watch is a volume spike, right? An influx in volume and a big candle. Now, it says that ROST is supposed to report earnings at 4 o'clock, but they don't have to. Sometimes companies report it a minute or two late, right? And we've seen in the case of NVIDIA, like 10, 15 minutes late. So far, nothing yet. And what I'm going to do here for you all is turn on the volume. And you can see there's a good amount of volume here that just pushed up. However, a lot of this volume is coming in just because it's the end of the day, right? If earnings did come out, you would expect a decent move here, not price to stay basically just flat. So let's take a look here. One more thing to note is the first move is not necessarily the correct move. Okay, immediately pushing up. 206 is that first level of resistance on ROST. It's up at 205, $1 away, guys. Decent pullback already, but the first move isn't always necessarily the correct move, and this is the type of action I'm talking about, guys. Can ROST continue higher, hit this aggressive 206 level, and then pull back? Or are we going to expect, or is it just going to pull back ahead of that? So close, guys. 50 cents away from that first aggressive level for a trade. 50 cents. Come on, push up there. See if we can't get a winner here. 50 cents. Okay, it pushed all the way to 207. Now pulling back, about flat. Now the question now is this aggressive level going to stand, or is it going to continue pushing up to that more standard level of resistance that I like up there around 211.70. Looks like it did get close to that level as well. Seeing a red candle here, good pullback, really close to that level. So it looks like that standard level might have been the nuts. Got real close to that, guys. We have another set of earnings in about 2 minutes. I'll take a look at the box levels in just a moment. Thank you so much, Medium Cost, for the kind words. But we need to see what ROST does. I'm going to give it another 30 seconds, and then we're going to start covering box. We'll switch back and forth between ROST and box, and then we'll take a look at CrowdStrike a little bit later. But question is, can ROST pull back now? Or is it just going to sit here? Now, one final thing that's really important about trading earnings, in order to trade them, you need to put your orders in extended trading hours, right? Just because your orders aren't going to get filled otherwise. Additionally, the further away we get from the earnings release, say earnings come out at 4, they released at 4:02, the further away from that time you get, the less volatility and volume you're likely to see. So ROST sitting there around that kind of standard level that I targeted, 211.70 of resistance. We're going to check back on it and see how it played out. But first, let's go and take a look, about box. Please show me that graphic on box. Okay, 405 box reports earnings in just about a minute. We're expecting earnings per share down 21 to 22%, expecting negative earnings as well. Please go to my screen. On box, I will show you my levels for support to 2182, 2119, and then 2072. For resistance, I'm looking at 2590, 2647, and 2713. And we'll react to it in real time as it releases earnings in about a minute. But back to ROST, just kind of sitting here right below that standard level of resistance. Hasn't really moved up after piercing my 206 level. Karen says, are you looking to buy or short? It depends. If it moves up, short. If it goes down, buy. We have about 30 EOX reports earnings, and ROST starting to come down. So please, if we can come back to me, please. And thank you so much, Mana, for answering that question. So happy you're here. Medium says, Lawton has this call like nobody's business. Thank you guys so much for the kind words. I really, really appreciate that. We have about 5 seconds till Box is supposed to release earnings, okay? So we'll keep an eye on ROST, see if it can continue to flush from our level. Okay, immediately Box pushing up. 25.90 was that first shortable level. Looks pretty decent. Man, it missed it barely. Come on, let's see if we can get a little bit more of a push and then a flush down. All my levels kissing it. Look how close it got, guys. 25.75, literally 15 cents away. What an amazing pullback. Now the question is, can this continue to push up and hit that level, or will it just fall and reverse? Now the first move on some of these earnings aren't necessarily the correct move. That's something really important to note on earnings. But let's see here. Excuse me. And ROST and Box are not two of the biggest companies, right? They don't have the most post-market action, and they don't have the largest market caps compared to like Nvidia, Tesla, Microsoft, companies like that. However, they can still get good moves. Oh man, 15 cents, guys. Box missed me by literally 15 cents. That's so close. What an amazing pullback there. About a 5% pullback, guys. So close. ROST just sitting here slightly above that aggressive level I gave. CrowdStrike popped. All right, let me give you my levels for CrowdStrike really quick. If we can go full screen to my screen. Looks like they might be releasing stock earnings early. My level of support is 35, 37, 354.40. Excuse me, 342.36, and then 334. For resistance, I'm looking at 415.30, 433, and 439. So let's see if CrowdStrike can continue to come down. However, they're not supposed to release earnings until 410. But when have they listened? All right, when have they listened? Literally never. So that was an initial nice pop, about 4.5% to my first aggressive level. I still am unsure if they release earnings. I mean, to move that much, you're expecting an influx of volume, which you got there. Basically 54 and 60,000 shares being traded compared to the average about 4,000. That's a great reversal there on CrowdStrike. But yeah, the earnings are kind of muted. You were kind of right just because of those, just because of the general concerns over war, right? CrowdStrike is basically not moving. Stock is literally down 3.5%. Not a whole lot. Do you ever use thicker lines to cover more price range? Not generally. I mean, I could bracket, right? I could bracket, Matthew. I could bracket a couple prices. Like, let's say I like a range between 354 and 348. Then I could just bracket that, but it's not quite the same. All right. So we'll see if Box can continue to push up or if ROST can continue to fall. But considering the volume, it's unlikely to get a lot more moves. ROST got so close to my level, 15 cents, and then pulled back 2%. Darn, that is a bummer. However, in Box, look how close this got. 15 cents also. Just the 15-cent trader today. You can call me 15-cent earnings trader as CrowdStrike continues to fall. If this can fall to around 354.37, that is the first aggressive level I'd be interested in trading. If we can come to me, please. And this is something that I really want to highlight. These levels aren't just good for the earnings, right? Let's say, for example, right, CrowdStrike were to close right here around 375, right, 374, wherever it is, and it ends here, right, and it opens tomorrow, it stays at this level. Well, if it were to flush at this 354.37 level, I 100% would take it for a bounce. I think that I picked these levels specifically for a reason, and you know, the further down you go, the more I kind of like these levels, right? So if it hit here, maybe I'd take it for a day trade. If it hit here, I would also take it for a day trade, but potentially an entry point for a swing. And usually these tertiary conservative lines I love a lot because they would mean that the earnings moved in an extremely unexpected way, and I would consider potentially swinging the position. But of course, it always varies. And look at this on box, guys. Pierced at 25.90 and pulled back about 2%, guys. Wow, good trade there on box. If you took that box at my level, $25.90, you'd be nicely in the money now. Just around 2%. Good job, YT. Short box. Awesome, brother. Feel free to take profits whenever, but you're in the money about 2%. Something you have to watch, though, is the decrease in volume, right? Like if I could make 2%, you know, 2.3% in literally a minute, I would take it every single time. But great job. Wow. Great move there on box, hitting that level literally perfectly and then falling down. Since we have a little bit of time, and I'll keep the show going for like another minute or two, I want to show you how I found this level, $25.90. Give you guys a little insight into this as box continues to fall. Great job here. Wow, 3.5%. So something really interesting. Let me go back to the box. Not the box, but box. So this level, if you look behind me, is a gap fill, right? Basically a gap fill up here from the 2nd of February, not too long ago. And how I found this level was I took a look at the chart. I looked at the previous earnings of box and thought to myself, okay, how much does box typically move, right? And I saw that sometimes it moves about 8%. So I looked for levels that are around 8% away and take a look at this. Gap fill literally was the nuts. Good job, Mana. Mana just made, thanks so much, brother. Yeah, I did kill it in the trading room today, made $28,000, and I'm exhausted from it, right? Absolutely exhausted, but good job, Mana, taking a win with box. YT, 2% winner. Congratulations, guys. Thank you for taking my trades. I really, really appreciate it. ROST potentially starting to come down. If you're in this trade from that aggressive level, you're out of the money 1%. That's not a whole lot. You can choose either DCA or stop out of the position. But, you know, whenever we can get a trade, even on smaller names like Box, not as exciting, not as glamorous as Microsoft or Nvidia, I will 100% take it, guys. All right. With that being said, that's it for me. Again, my name is Lawton Ho here with Verified Investing. Please consider liking, subscribing, following us at all of our socials at Verified Investing. And I have a brand new service out. If you want all my levels ahead of time for these stocks I go live for and more stocks that I don't even cover in this room and stocks to report in the morning like the Chinese stocks, please consider checking that out. It would really, really help me out. And thank you guys, as always, for supporting me by watching Earnings Central Live. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Matthew took $3 on ROST. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Thanks, Stella. Have a good one. I'll see you in a bit, guys.
Earnings can move fast, and most traders react too late.
I map the key levels first: support, resistance, pivots, and gaps, so you're not guessing during the volatility.
Earnings Levels with Lawton Ho gives you the zones to watch before key earnings reports, delivered monthly.
Trade the levels, manage risk, stay disciplined.
VerifiedInvesting.com.